Hi, Shelby Long here, Senior Vice President of the Strategic Advisor Board and CEO of Business Dynamics, your resident communication expert here all week to talk to you about just some small communication changes you can make within your own business to enhance your culture and productivity in your work. Love working with businesses on their business culture and how they can become a better leader and an influencer in their industry. Today and this week, I'm talking all about emotional intelligence and how important it is as a leader in our industry to have this emotional intelligence or EQ in our business operations and our leadership standards, because it can provide us the best environment that we have to work in, and also the most productive environment. Productive, profitable, also the best for our employees. And being an inclusive and diversified workplace is a way that we can do that. Yesterday, the last couple of days, I talked about what the emotional intelligence or EQ quotient has upon your business and has a dramatic impact on your profit. Yesterday, we talked about how having a deep understanding of who you are and your own communication practices is the first step in understanding your emotional intelligence, because you have a clear understanding of who you are and how you operate and what type of people you communicate best with. Then we can change some things, alter some things, understand that empathetic side of ourselves so we can begin to be more inclusive in our practices at work. Today, I want to talk about the other side of communication, about how important it is to understand or have not necessarily a deep understanding of your audience, but having a cursory understanding of your audience so you can understand how the communication can operate and also how to resonate the best with your audience. As a leader in your industry, you're constantly in the position of persuading, of encouraging, of motivating your audience. And when you know more about them and the needs that they have, the communication channels become much easier to fulfill. So we'll talk about a couple of different ways that you can do that as a leader in your space. But just even the first thing to think about is, who am I talking to? Am I speaking to men, women? Is there certain ethnicities, certain cultures? Are they parents? Whatever that is, what are the demographics? Who are you speaking to? Because that has a dramatic impact on how you can best resonate with the audiences by thinking about how you can alter or even just change your communication practices, even in the slightest, with who you're actually speaking to. I just think of an example. Like, I talk to my children who are 10 and 7. I talk to them in a different way than I speak to my business partners, because it's different contexts, different needs, different language, different environments. The same is for when you speak to your employees, or whether you're in a boardroom position or you're speaking on Zoom. We have to alter our communication for whatever the situation is. The first, demographics, is what we think about with our audience. But the second level that I think is really important to think about with your audience is the psychographics, which is more of a deep understanding of where they are. And I think this becomes particularly important after the pandemic and the shutdown and all the unknowns that happened, is that people really had a hard time communicating with each other. They weren't used to speaking to each other face to face, and we were forced to socially distance. And so that changed a lot of our communication habits. Having an understanding about what those hesitancies might be and how we can alter our own communication practices to understand and create a better connection with our audience, that's something that we can, that's as a leader, that shows empathy, and that shows progress, and it shows a way to move forward. So just think about you and your practices is important, how to be a better communicator and how to better be an influencer, but also thinking about the needs of your audience. That's a way that you can connect. That's a way you can become more emotionally aware and more empathetic and more influential in your communication. I'm here all week talking about communication tips. Love to talk to you about communication and culture in your business. So you can reach out, shelbyjolong.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.